How you doing today? My name is Malcolm Gray, and I'm here with Mr. Michael Murray. And Mr. Murray, can you please just give us a brief description of what you did dealing with the managing budgets and things like that?
Well, my title was a state budget management analyst, and we were assigned different state agencies in the state of Louisiana, develop the budget and make a recommendation to the state legislature every year on an annual basis. I mostly handled all of them at one time, all agencies at one time, but I've also handled the colleges and universities. That includes the athletic department, all sports divisions, management, finance, pretty much everything.
Okay. And we're just going to go into a brief description of who's responsible for the budgeting process and what policies are associated with the budget decision making within an organization.
Well, the state legislature decides on the policies and procedures on doing their budget. They give us basic guidelines. What happens is the state agencies submit budget to the governor's office. We analyze those budgets, make recommendations to the governor. The governor takes those recommendations to the legislature, then they revise it and approve it.
Okay. How often is the budget revised?
It's once every year.
Once every year?
The budget process starts usually in November, and we make our recommendations to the governor in probably January, and then the legislative session starts, and then they start dissecting the budget.
Okay, what kind of input does the manager receive from the coaches or anyone that's affiliated with the athletic department?
Usually what happens is the university's budget people, they'll go and speak to everyone. Everyone does like a mini budget of their own. Like the football team would do their mini budget. The baseball team would do theirs. The science department, psychology department, they all do their mini budgets. Then LSU, for example, budget team would consolidate all that and submit the whole thing to us.
Okay. Do all employees have access to the budget information?
No.
And can you give a brief description of why not?
Most of them don't care. All they care about getting paid. And the budget process is kind of on hierarchy. Mm-hmm. The big shots make the decisions, and the little people pretty much provide information to them.
Okay. How are the budget figures derived from year to year, sport to sport, season to season?
Well, a lot of it depends on how much revenue is available every year. Louisiana is based on all revenue, so like this year, revenue, gas prices being so low, our budget's going to be a lot less than the previous years because we have less revenue. So revenue drives everything. So you may get 80% of what you had last year. So that means everything had to be cut down, and some things are eliminated.
Okay. What does the budget/financial manager believe are the three most important facts associated with the budget process, and how do they communicate their tenets to others in the organization?
I guess number one is having a good relationship with the agency they're dealing with. If I can trust what you're telling me, then I don't have to go and dissect it as much. Versus if I don't know you very well, then I got to go back and question everything that you wrote down on that paper. That's number one. Number two, my knowledge of what you do. I have to understand what you do to understand what your true needs are. And third, I think it's open communication between myself and you and the agencies.
Okay. And ultimately, who in the organization must be accountable for the budgeting process?
Well, I as an analyst make a recommendation to my budget manager, and the budget manager makes recommendations to the state budget director. And from there, we go to the commissioner of administration, and then to the governor.
Okay. What technology application is usually used?
We have our own in-house system. It's kind of spreadsheet based, but it's from a large database.
So kind of like an Excel or an Access?
Access, more like Access.
Okay. What do you like about the software?
You can get it. You can customize it for each agency. Everybody has different needs. LSU's budget process and design really different from a charity hospital's budget.
Right. What are the problems that you usually encounter when using the software, if any?
We have to tweak it every year.
Kind of an update type.
Yeah, right. Basically, we use the same stuff for the last 15, 20 years, but we get updates.
Right.
And we have to understand what those updates can and can't do. So.
Okay. And our final question: How did you guys learn to use the application?
A lot of trial and error. We had a 3-person team come in with the system at first, and they kind of tested the software itself. And once we were okay with it and what it did and what it didn't do, we just spread it out to the whole office.
Well, Mr. Murray, I thank you for giving me your time to interview you today, and I hope you have a good day, sir.
You too. It was.